Affirmative action, as they call it, is done. So they really did it, huh? They have unleashed the hounds. The Supreme Court has spoken, and apparently colleges and universities can no longer consider race as a basis for admission. Well, isn't that just dandy? The world's gone mad, my friends. You know, I've had it up to here with this affirmative action nonsense. And let's not mince words here. It's nonsense. The Democrats have long sung its praises, claiming it's this noble effort to make amends for centuries of racial injustice. But let me tell you, it's nothing more than positive discrimination, dressed up as some kind of savior for the oppressed. And don't even get me started on those Democrats who defend this like it's the holy grail of justice. Rudderless, race-based preferences? That's what these colleges are dishing out like it's candy on Halloween. They're not ensuring equality. They're just pandering to a particular racial mix. It's an outrage, a slap in the face to those who've worked hard regardless of their ethnicity.
The time is now, no regrets, we're doing this. And then he only took about 10, 15 minutes to read his, but then Clarence Thomas, who was with the majority, the court's only black male justice at this point, starts to read his. Now, one thing I would just say, watching these other justices listening, Ketanji Brown Jackson, our newest justice, the first female African-American justice, just sat looking out stone-faced the entire time this is going on.
Look, I get it. There's an argument to be made about addressing historical wrongs. But let's not fool ourselves. Affirmative action doesn't do that. It's not lifting everyone up to the same level playing field. It's just putting some on a pedestal while others struggle to even see the field. You want to talk about disadvantages? Sure, there might be a few. Some people argue that it could lead to reverse discrimination, where deserving candidates are pushed aside because of their race. And yeah, it's not a perfect system, but come on, folks. Let's not pretend that the good things don't outweigh the bad. This ruling isn't just some Republican victory parade. It's a common-sense move towards fairness. You work hard, you get ahead, that's how it should be. And before you start screaming about privilege, let's remember that this isn't about one group being better than another. It's about acknowledging that merit and effort should be the keys to success. So, to those Democrats who are wringing their hands over this decision, take a step back and really think about what you're defending. It's not justice, it's not equality. It's a broken system that perpetuates division and resentment. We should all be fighting for a world where everyone has the chance to succeed based on their own merits, not the color of their skin. And to the Supreme Court, well, at least they got this one right. It's time to put an end to this misguided experiment and let true equality prevail. Let's stop pretending that affirmative action is anything more than a band-aid solution, and let's start focusing on real ways to bridge the gaps that divide us.
Could have discriminated against Asian Americans, and he harkened back to slavery and all the wrongs of history, the Jim Crow era, and put these programs in that category, and talked about how much they betrayed the equal protection guarantee of the 14th Amendment.
We have treated affirmative action as a big sorry note to all the democratic mistakes we have done to people of color long enough. It's time to make a change, America. We can't keep perpetuating this cycle of two wrongs make a right. It's time to break free from this flawed thinking and embrace a system that's based on actual achievement and merit. Look, I understand the history, the legacy of oppression and discrimination. But let's not kid ourselves into thinking that affirmative action is the magical solution that erases all those wrongs. It's like putting a band-aid on a broken bone. It might make things look better on the surface, but the real issues are still there, festering beneath. And let's not even talk about how this has affected deserving students of all backgrounds who were overlooked because of this misguided approach. It's not just about Republicans versus Democrats. It's about fundamental fairness and opportunity for everyone. We should be striving for a society where everyone starts on an even playing field, regardless of their heritage. Now, I'm not saying that erasing affirmative action is the end-all solution. No, it's just the first step. We need to focus on improving education, creating economic opportunities, and addressing the systemic issues that have led us to this point. We need to tackle the root causes, not just slap a quota on college admissions and call it a day.
These programs were always bad, they were always stigmatizing, they always hurt both sides. Affirmative action in his mind was always a zero-sum game, and inevitably, he believed that not only white students were harmed, but Black and Hispanic students, and now in these cases, especially Asian American students.
So let's wrap up this shindig, shall we? This is Red Alert, and I'm here to tell you that it's time for a wake-up call. Affirmative action might have started with good intentions, but it's time to recognize it for what it is. A flawed, counterproductive approach that's holding us back from achieving true equality. It's not about left versus right, Republican versus Democrat. It's about being honest with ourselves and admitting that affirmative action is not the answer. It's about saying no to discrimination, no matter how it's packaged. It's about embracing a future where every individual, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to succeed based on their hard work and abilities. Even if so, much of the Democrats support this damn thing. I really don't get you guys. So America, it's time to sound the red alert. It's time to demand real change, real progress, and real equality. It's time to reject policies that divide us and instead come together as a nation that values everyone for their character and contributions. It's not an easy path, but it's the right one. And remember, change starts with honest conversations, uncomfortable as they may be. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and let's work towards a better future. A future where the concept of affirmative action is nothing but a distant memory. Subscribe to our channel. Until next time, signing off, Red Alert.